We got some interesting comments, Andrew, from one Shaquille O'Neal on the TNT crew, man, and I want to know your thoughts about this. So Gamb, if you can bring up the clip and let the good folks hear what Shaq had to say last night, I want everyone's opinion on this.
I'm wondering, not saying, I'm just wondering because he's been consistently the best shooter his whole career. I'm wondering, is it time to start putting him as the best player of all time?
Best player. Oh, you put him over you.
In the conversation.
I'm asking you.
Yes.
You put him over you. You yourself
Way
put
better,
Steph Curry
yes,
over you.
Yeah, this is why he's my favorite player. Cause
I'm not saying favorite. He might be my favorite too, but I'm just asking you, he's better than you?
I played 20 years, watched 20 years before that. I've never seen a guy like him. And he's doing it consistently, and he has championships.
You put him over Michael.
No, I'm not putting him anywhere. I'm saying,
okay,
for all the chitter chatter, is it time to just put him in the conversation?
I think he's a.
I'm asking the fans, is it time to start putting him in the conversation as one of the best players ever?
All right, and there we have it with Shaq saying that he's wondering if we should start putting Steph Curry as the best player of all time. Andrew, what say you?
No.
Ooh, why is that?
No. I mean, he's not ahead of LeBron. He's not ahead of MJ. He's not ahead of Larry Bird, in my opinion. Is he ahead of Kobe? Is he ahead of Kobe, Alex? Let me just say this. I want you to hold that answer. Think about it. Because, yes, he's the GOAT shooter. Yes, he has impacted the modern style of basketball more than anybody else with the influence of analytics and the European style of basketball. He's the one person that influenced the way we play basketball today. You go to any gym, kids are shooting threes from everywhere because of Steph Curry. Highly impacted the game. But no, he's not the greatest player to ever play basketball. He's just not.
I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate because I agree with you. I wouldn't put him up there necessarily with the greatest player of all time. Put him as the greatest player of all time. But I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate with you, Andrew.
We already agreed, Alex. We already agreed.
So here would be the opposing argument, right? Yeah, and you said it. Because one of the reasons I think outside of MJ winning 6 titles and the way that he did it and just being undefeated every time he went to the NBA finals, that adds to the resume and just the greatness to him. He's a legitimate killer. He did not want to face MJ. He dominated the league and you had to run through him in order to try and win a championship, which I get all of that. But part of his appeal also, too, is his marketability. And when it came to the shoes, everyone wanted to be like Mike, all those commercials. You can talk about all the restaurant commercials out there, too. We won't say the names just because they haven't paid the show to be a sponsor. But hey, I get there's a marketing appeal that goes to it. And you said it, he has changed the game. He's influenced the game in such a way where, look, I go to any gym and I just see kids just pulling up from 20 feet out. They can't even hit the shot. They're just heaving their body in the air, just trying to knock down a three. And I'm like, one, I don't really like that style of play because obviously Steph Curry is like you said, one of the greatest shooters, if not the greatest shooter of all time.
He is.
But he has impacted the game where it's he has transformed the NBA. Everyone comes in. Now you talk about even Daryl Morey. It's yo, we got to put up more threes. When you look at the Houston Rockets, it's let's surround James Harden with as much 3-point shooting as possible. You talk about that with anybody else in the league. It's let's surround everybody, our top guys with the best 3-point shooting. We now have this moniker of 3-and-D players, and 3-point shots have really transformed the game. And Steph, along with Clay, has really transformed how everything is done. So wouldn't you put that into add that to the GOAT category? He may not be the greatest player of all time, but if you start to have the conversation, it's all right, how did MJ change the game? Not only on the court, but marketing wise. LeBron James, definitely on the court, marketing wise. Steph Curry on the court has changed it based on how many threes we take. And then marketing wise, how the game is just played, wouldn't you have to throw him in there?
Yeah, he changed the game more than LeBron or Jordan, in my opinion. That does not mean he's greater than LeBron or Jordan. He is not a better basketball player than LeBron or Jordan. We could talk about two-way impact. We could even talk about that Jordan and LeBron are more undeniable than Steph Curry. Steph Curry is awesome. He's great. But part of his greatness is the situation that he's in. He was in a perfect storm, a perfect mix of being with the right system, the right coach, the right players around him. I think Jordan and LeBron are more undeniable talents than Steph Curry. You put them anywhere in the world, they're raising the ceiling of their team. They're making their team that much better. I think those two are the GOATs. I would have Kareem above Steph Curry. I would have Larry Bird. I would have Kobe above Steph Curry. I think he's a top 10 guy. I'm not diminishing what he's done. He's absolutely great. I just don't think he's as great as LeBron or Jordan. I don't think he's a better basketball player than those two.
So even with the rings that he has, the 4 rings, his team's made 6 finals appearances. You still wouldn't even consider all of that to put him even in the top 5 of that conversation.
Top 5 is tough for me. He's the greatest shooter of all time. GOAT shooter, not GOAT player.
Okay. See, I feel like I wouldn't put him over Kobe just because, like, I think about ring wise and like talent wise. I agree with you. Top 10.
Yeah,
he's not the greatest player of all time, and I think when you go into the nitty gritty of like what makes a great overall player, you hit it on the head with, hey, what is he doing on the other side of the basketball court? Now, some may come out and say, hey, there was one year where he led the league in steals, but leading the league in steals doesn't necessarily mean you're playing good two-way defense. But I would say that
he's not a bad defender. He's not a bad defender.
He's not a bad defender. No, he's not a bad defender. But he's not. Like, when I think about MJ, it's like there's times where he just gets timely steals and just plays defense, and it's just like both sides. You know, you're not getting through MJ defensively, and you're not stopping him offensively. Same thing with LeBron. Like LeBron now at his age, like he takes some possessions off, but like peak LeBron, you're not defensively you're not.
Yeah. He's doing he's doing a great job of anchoring the defense to this day. Like he's a great defender. And Jordan, he was so amazing because he was the greatest offensive player at his time while being the greatest defensive player. That is so tough. Hardly anybody does that because it's so tough to have that much bandwidth on both sides of the court. Like actually Kawhi did it for that season with Toronto, right? Like, but we rarely see that. And that's what makes Michael Jordan so elite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. You definitely got to play on both sides of the court.
Let me ask you also this, Alex. Now, all right, he was more important to the Warriors than KD, but is he a better basketball player than KD?
Is he a better basketball player than KD? I would say yes. Okay. I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say yes just because, like, I'm still waiting for, like, here. Kevin Durant had to go to the Warriors to actually win something, right?
That doesn't mean that doesn't mean he's not better.
It doesn't mean that he's not better, but I think when you talk about like the impact of a player and what he does for a team, like I look at Steph and he changes the entire game, everything. And I think he finally did that. You know, that was the biggest knock on Steph. Could he actually do that? Be the sole player to change the outcome? And I think about that finals performance against the Celtics, man, to stop them from going down to 3-1. And that really solidified it to me, where it's like, okay, this guy on the court, mano a mano, going against 2 top players in the NBA. Did what he had to do to keep his team in it. Yeah, you had a good game from Andrew Wiggins. But to me, like, yes, could KD be a better overall player because he could play defense, give you a shot blocker and stuff like that? Absolutely. But I just think Steph Curry as a basketball player and like the impact that he has on the court, I don't think KD necessarily matches that. I think just when you watch the Warriors, like Steph is the system. Like without Steph, they don't have the system. Like could KD be the system? Sure, but I've seen KD as the system and it hasn't really gone far on either the Nets. It hasn't gone far for Phoenix right now. Like they're a struggling team. And with OKC, they had a lot of talent, but outside of having all 3 of those players, they never went back to the finals and did anything close. I mean, they got swept. They were up 3-1 against the same Warriors team prior to KD joining that team, and they lost. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Steph over KD. I'm feeling that you're gonna go the opposite direction.
OKC is fair. I would say his situations haven't been ideal with the Nets, right? And his current situation now with Beal and Devin Booker. Beal always injured. I mean, chemistry is a real thing. Like the Warriors have built chemistry over time. I do think it's tough sometimes when you're comparing players to put team accolades, too much stock into team accolades. Team accolades matter, but not everything is equal when you're going with team accolades, right? Like if you don't have enough around you, you don't have enough around you. And the Nets are really never totally healthy together. They didn't have enough time. The Suns right now, they didn't have enough time. Now, is some of this a product of his own decisions? Yes. And that's fair. But I think with all due respect to Wardell, I think the Durant Curry debate is a better debate than is Curry the GOAT. Like, I think that's a good debate. Like, I don't think Curry's the GOAT. I don't know. I don't think it's even close when you're talking about Jordan and LeBron.
You're saying the debate between Jordan and LeBron is not even close.
Oh no, that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. We're not getting
okay. I was like,
I'm saying like I just think that Jordan and LeBron are clearly over Steph.
Okay.
With all due respect to Wardell,
I agree with you though. I feel like the Steph and Kate, that's a really good conversation. I mean, we're having the conversation right now. It's a very good debate to go back and forth on. I mean, we're having some people right now. We have Hassan 33 in the chat saying Steph definitely over Katie. We have Gamba saying Katie ain't better than Melo in that regard. And I guess Gamba's saying he's taking Steph over Katie. I guess that's where he's going. Let's see.
Wow, nobody agrees with Combo in the chat.
Does anybody agree with Combo in the chat? Is anyone saying KD is better than Steph Curry? I just can't. I can't say Steph is better than KD, man. Just out of good conscience, I cannot do that.
You just said you can't. By the way, just to clarify, you just said you cannot say Steph is better than KD.
I mean, other way around. I can't say KD is better than Steph. Sorry.
I just want the people to know what you're saying.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it for catching me on that. Look, man, sometimes when you're running so many screens around here, you lose track of what you're saying. Okay. But hey, so don't clip that. Aggregators, be careful. All right.
Okay.
I will dispute it. But thank you, Andrew, for helping me out there.